All right. Thank you so much for keeping it MKTV channel. As usual, this is where all your questions will get answered on love. My name is Apeti Ameka Ivy, and if you haven't liked our Facebook page, kindly go there, click the like button. Follow us on Instagram at MKTV_channel 254. Follow us on Twitter at MKTV 254 and subscribe to our YouTube channel, MKTV channel. Today, I'm having a very, I don't want to describe him, but I know he's an amazing guest to us today. And, you know, if you have any questions related to love and love matters and matters of the heart, kindly comment down below. Send us all your questions, and I'm very sure you'll be answered. Right? Welcome to our show today.
Asante sana.
Introduce yourself first.
My name is Elvis Jeremiah Wabuti. For today, I will call myself Dr. Love. That is now my profession for today. And I'm here to speak with you about love.
All right.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
This is MKTV channel.
Asante, I'm so glad to be here.
Okay, so what is love? Dr. Love, what is love? Define your name.
Yeah, you see, Ivy, the most important thing for us to note is that there's been a funny trend in the not so distant past where people get into unions, and not so long after they get themselves into unions, you realize that either the man or the woman start hurting each other. And the hurt goes so deep sometimes to the extent that people take each other's lives. And that is why I accepted your invitation to come here and share a little bit of what I know about love.
Yeah.
And by definition, I want, before I make the definition, to say that if you don't know where you're going, you can never know if you have arrived. You really have to understand where you're going so that you can paint a picture of where you're going in your mind before you get into it. And so is love. Before you say, I love somebody, you have to ask yourself, what is this monster or this thing called love? What is this region, or what is these parameters that I'm getting in that I'm calling love? So by definition, I say love are the following four things combined. Just like the wheels of a car rotating towards the same direction and at the same speed. The four things I'm going to say are involved in love, like the four letters of the word love.
Yeah.
We have respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy.
Respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy.
We have to begin the way we began, and we have to end the way we began.
Yes.
So it is respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy in that order. Like the four pillars that, erect a house, or the four wheels of a car, they have to move at the same speed and in the same direction. Now, having understood that love are the following four things, I want to define the four words that I've used to define love so that we are on the same page with the viewers. I define respect to mean that which makes us different. When I say respect, what thing will come into your mind is that at some point, we're going to differ.
Exactly.
So if we differ, what's going to be the defining principle in our relationship?
Respect.
Respect.
Sure.
What makes us different? You are a woman, I am a man. You come from Venus, I come from Mars. You've gone to a different school from mine. Your family is different from mine. Your profession is different from mine.
We've been brought together.
We've been brought up differently.
Exactly.
We have different melting and boiling points.
Yes.
Even our biology is different.
Very.
Women would tend to use their ears to be sexually aroused. Men tend to use their eyes. So we are different. We are bound to run into problems when we are talking about matters love. So what happens? I want to put the extreme circumstances. For example, if you are raised in a Christian family, and Ivy, on Saturday, you go to church to rehearse praise and worship. On Sunday, you attend the first, second, and third mass. So you are a spiritual person, brought up in a spiritual way.
Yes.
For example, if I, Elvis, am a social person, on Saturday, I go hang out with friends. We rave till late into the night. On Sunday, I also go and burn beef and eat pork at Okwako's place, for example. So it means we are intrinsically and extrinsically different. What you do on a weekend is different from what I do on a weekend. If we fall in love, me and you, Ivy, we are different, which means there's gonna come a time when you will need me in church, or I will need you in my social place. Assuming a very renowned tele-evangelist, say TD Jakes is coming to our church where we wedded, for example, and the local pastor is saying, everybody who's wedded in this church, TD Jakes is coming to give us a sermon or a seminar on how to make marriages work. We only have one day. Kindly come with your husband. And on that day, a friend of mine comes from Japan and he's passing through Kenya on his way to South Africa. We only have one day for me to have good time with my friend. I want to introduce my friend to my wife. There is a potential fault line for friction. Yes. You will tell me, babe, you know, we have to go to church. Year in, year out, you don't go to church. This is only one chance for us to go to church. And I will be telling you, look, I respect us going to church, but this is my friend. He's only passing through Kenya once. I'm in car business because of him. He's the one who's sustaining us, putting food on our table. So there's going to be a rift because we are different. If you don't solve these differences early in your relationship, what's bound to happen is everybody will be pulling in a different direction. So in essence, respect as a pillar of love gives you an opportunity as a couple to look at what makes you different. Where is the line that separates you, Elvis, from Ivy, for example? Ivy has her own life. Elvis has his own life. But there is a thin divide somewhere where I don't step on your shoes and you don't step on my toes. You have to identify that region and make it absolutely clear that from now henceforth, I know that he has been brought up in a social way. I understand that she has been brought up in a spiritual way. So anything spiritual, I will give you your way. Anything social, you give me my way.
And I think that is where so many people conflict, because I think the few people I've come across with, they tend to believe that if I fall in love with you, we will be compatible in a manner that we do all things together. Like everything I believe in, you'll also believe in it. Everything you believe in, I'll also force myself into, your space. And that is where a lot of conflict comes in. And when we conflict or brush shoulders on the same, it's termed as non-respect, like you don't respect me, I don't respect you.
True. And probably what I should add from your perspective is, if you get into a relationship, imagining, even tolerating an imagination that you're going to convert that person into yourself, as in that person is going to agree with what you say 100%, that is a recipe for disaster. Because
what if you don't like,
for one,
conflicts?
You need to understand that we are different.
Yes, we are.
If we were the same, we would be talking about same-sex unions, which we are not. It is only a girl behaving like a girl who would know how another girl would behave. Men are basically physical. Men use their eyes. Eyes are like their contact organs to the world. A man looking at a woman smartly dressed will start thinking things. A woman uses her ears. So you see, we are even different the way we take stuff from the environment to us. A woman would listen. That's why a woman, or many women, would say, he lied to me. Through word, she listened to the words. She was carried away. She lied to me. What do men say? She tempted me. Temptations go through the eyes. She was putting on a very small skirt, and she's so curvy, and she has very nice and succulent lips. It has everything to do with the eyes. And for women, it has everything to do with the ear. So we are very different. Tolerating an imagination that we will start and proceed in a relationship as though we will become one is a fallacy. What you need to understand is to have an imagination that since Ivy is a woman, she will be attending her periods. And when she attends her periods, her emotional estrogen levels, the hormones in her body will make her react in a certain way. As a man, I don't have to react the same way because my hormones work differently. You get? So if she raises her voice over you when she's experiencing her menstrual cycle, you don't have to raise the voice back.
True.
You understand that she is undergoing some process in her life. If she gets pregnant, for example, and she starts behaving in a certain manner, take your back seat and understand that she is different from you.
Yeah.
So the difference is extremely important in a relationship that is starting.
You said important.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Start by asking yourself, what makes me different from this lady? And is it something that I can live with for the rest of my life?
And do you think most people ask themselves those questions?
That's why we have people hacking each other and killing each other. They don't. We concentrate on things that unite us more than the things that separate us as human beings. We would like to fall in love in words. As I kiss you, you kiss me in return. As I hold your hand, you hold me in return. How about we concentrate in what makes us different first? Because what makes us same will always fit in.
I think I'm disagreeing. Do you think that is workable?
It is, absolutely.
It's not workable, according to me, because how will I concentrate on the difference, on our differences, instead of what is bringing us together and what excites us?
I said
because that is what makes days move on and life moves on.
Yes, absolutely. But probably you're jumping the gun. I said there are 4 principles, 4 wheels of love. We are only discussing the first. Okay. And I said, let the first be first.
Okay.
Because that is where we go wrong. If we don't understand the differences, by the time you are putting in things that put you together, you're already on the wrong course.
Okay. And I know so many people who are watching really know what I mean and what I'm trying to bring it out. Yes. I think this is where we are supposed, to get it clearly, to concentrate on what the differences, on our differences, yes, but not on what makes us compatible, something close to that.
Ivy, I want to make it clear so that I'm not misunderstood by
Kindly
the viewers.
Make it clear for them.
You see, if this building where we are you get into a building and it's so cleanly or spectacularly painted.
Yes.
The painting can con you to imagine that it's a very nice building.
Exactly.
However, if you ask the engineers, they know what went into the walls. Okay? So when I'm talking about respect, these are the structure of the love. It is the fiber that makes the love to work. If you get it wrong, however beautiful you will cover it, however magnificent you will move on from there, you've already gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
If you shy away from knowing what makes the other person angry and start the relationship and concentrate on what makes you feel nice, one day, I trust you, you will get into that house and there will be a difference and you'll not know how to handle it.
Yeah.
First things first, get your respect in order. Okay. Know what ticks the other person. Know what she doesn't like. Know what he likes. So that at the end of the day, we go back to the dictionary definition. When you approach a lady, she tells you, let me think about it. What happens between the period that you have made your proposal to the period when she tells you, yes, nakukubali? I tend to believe that is the time when she is looking into all those aspects. If this guy is Muslim and I am Christian, can I really stand it? And if I stand it, yet I believe in the tenets of blessings, will my parents agree?
Yeah.
If I am a graduate and she is not, are we going somewhere? If I am white and she is black, will we get into murky waters? You really have to think about those tough decisions before you come and say, yes, nakukubali. Unfortunately, these days, people rush into saying yes.
Exactly. And also, unfortunately, men do not like to be told that, let me think about it. I'll get back to you about the same. You men don't like to be told that.
I wouldn't want to go into now, classifying men versus women. If it's a men versus women, sure, one day we will try and have the same. But let us have the first things first.
Okay.
So respect puts you in a situation where you understand your partner more. You also know the divide where your territory ends and her territory starts. You understand what makes her angry. And then you ask yourself this vital question: am I willing to live through this with this person? So by the time Ivy, you come back and tell me, nakukubali, you have gone through that process of understanding our differences. You know that in as much as I am a Muslim and you're Christian, you are able to carry through. You know, it's love. So come what may, ata nyumbani kwenu, if they chase you from your house, you will still say, till death do us part. If you are disowned by your religion because you have opted for another person, you are willing to go that extent. That is the first pillar of love. Yeah. The second pillar of love, which is a bit more comfortable, is what I call faithfulness. Yeah. And by faithfulness, I mean, you know, we ascribe to the deity of God, the inability to abandon. For example, when we go to the altar as Christians and say, I want to love Ivy in sickness and in health, in thickness and in thinness, okay, in happiness and in sorrow, till death do us part. Yeah. We actually apportion and ascribe ourselves to the deity of God. If God chooses you, Ivy, today, he will never change. If he blesses you, nobody can reverse that. So the deity of God is such that it has some permanency in it. That is what we bring in love. That in as much as we are starting the journey today, so many things are going to happen to you, Ivy, and so many things are going to happen to me as Elvis. But come what may, I will stick with you. The faithfulness through the journey, the sameness throughout the passage of time is what I call faithfulness. And by faithfulness, it's easy for people to say, ndiyo namkubali. Yes, I do. But look at it this way. Supposing you are a high school teacher teaching chemistry, very beautiful. And during the process of doing an experiment, there is an explosion of gas or chemicals, and they extensively damage your face or your beauty. It is in a first or second or third year of our marriage. Am I gonna live with you for the rest of my life?
I know 70% will live.
So I think what I'm saying is, if I said that, yes, in sickness and in health, come what may, till death do us part, I am supposed to. This brings us to the issue of what lies deep within the person. The character, the principles, the inner person of a person. If, for example, I am a man, I have millions. For example, I have a very lucrative business, or I work in a very good organization. And then while I'm driving home once, I am involved in a terrible motor vehicle accident. And because of that treatment, a lot of my money is spent on paying hospital bills. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I remain strapped on a wheelchair. Will you still love me to the end? Where now, even going to the toilet, I have to be assisted. Yeah. You have to carry me to places that ordinarily I would carry myself. So it is easy for us to say, ndiyo namkubali. Yes, I do. But if you look at the worst or the best, when you focus on things that can come along the way, you realize some of them will not keep their vows. Sure. Because they never had an opportunity to interrogate and say, Ivy is good right now. But after 2 or 3 babies, she'll have baby fat. She'll be different. She'll not have these curvy features. Or something out of the ordinary can happen to her. I should be able, or people should be able to fall in love with the inner person. So that even if I'm extensively damaged, if I am strapped on a wheelchair, there is a bigger and better man within me. There is a more beautiful woman within you, okay? So that segment of love is what I am calling faithfulness. Yeah. And it carries both ways. It can be bad and it can be good. Yeah. Today, people do a lot of games on gambling, for example, or fortunes of people change. If, for example, Safaricom were to run a promotion where the winner gets 10 million, just because you're buying credit, for example,
Yeah.
and Ivy, you find you're the lucky winner. Trust you me, you start looking at me differently. Because now the money will elevate you to a certain social class. You will want to do things you had said they can never happen in your life.
Yeah.
If you never did your master's degree, you'll want to go into master's.
Definitely.
As you're going to do your master's, you're going to rub shoulders with who is who in this world. As you're having that money, you'll not be able to go to golf anymore. You'll want to go further afield. You want to go to Dubai. You'll do your shopping in Milan. You'll go to Hollywood for vacation. You'll go to South Africa with family. And you see, because there is now a change, you'll want to socialize with people who are on the same level with you on the financial platform. That brings a difference. What if it's the man? What if he decides to bring another woman, a dream woman of his life? Every man as he grows has a beautiful woman he imagines, yet probably he cannot get. Why? Maybe because he doesn't have the means. This woman would want to date somebody who is driving. He doesn't have a car. What if he starts driving now? Will he still see you?
No.
He will want to see someone else.
Someone else. No.
Probably of the same class. So the faithfulness element is that which we ascribe to ourselves when we borrow from the deity of God. When he says it's you, he will never change. That is exactly what we get in when we're getting into love.
Yeah.
Love that leads sometimes to marriage. Okay? Let me leave faithfulness at that and quickly go to trust.
Yeah.
Now, of the four elements of love, trust is the most fluid. Trust is it's a tricky affair.
Yeah.
Trust is the most malleable. You can't really hold trust like this in your hands.
No.
It is what you are able to do in the absence of your partner. For example, if you are doing your master's in South Africa and I'm here in Kenya, I wouldn't know exactly how you do your day there. Even if you go and fall in love with your lecturer, I wouldn't be able to know. But at the end of the day, how you conduct yourself in my absence is what I call trust. Even if you are here in Kenya and you're working in Nairobi and I'm working in Kakamega, for example, whatever you do where I am not, the things you do when I am not there are the ones that amount to trust. Even if we are staying in the same house, we go out on different schedules. I can be working on night shift. I'm a doctor, and I leave you at home. Or you could be a nurse, and you leave me at home. What I do in the absence of my partner is what amounts to trust. It borders on integrity, but it's far beyond integrity because the consequences always affect the relationship of love. When trust is like virginity, you lose it only once. You cannot replow the element of trust. If I get you in a situation, you will tell me, babe, it's not what you think it is.
Or I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
It has planted in me something that you will never, ever uproot. You'll never go beyond that. You can reclaim faithfulness. You can reclaim respect. You can reclaim intimacy, but you can never reclaim trust. Trust is like virginity. So you have to make sure once you get into that relationship, you hold it like an egg. Trust. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me quickly go to intimacy. Now, very quickly, this is what so many people have mistakenly said is love. Intimacy. It is what brings emotions.
It amounts to love, right?
It is one of the four pillars of love.
Yes.
We started off with respect, then we went to faithfulness, then trust. Now we are at intimacy. Intimacy is what makes the emotions to come, the feelings. What makes us stupid, mad, crazy. You say, I'm crazily in love with that woman. I'm so stupidly in love with that woman or that man for that matter. It is the intimacy. the closeness, the things that we do to each other and for each other that cannot be explained. Yeah. Why a grown-up person wants to birth another one cannot be explained anywhere.
It can't.
Why a grown-up person wants to carry another one on the back as they are dancing or they are running around the house cannot be explained. Why, for example, others jog in the morning together cannot be explained. And why they make love, if you were to look at the act of making love itself, is a bit foolish or stupid.
Yeah.
The art of making love. So the clothing of all these things that we do that cannot be explained. Now, we began by saying that these are 4 wheels moving at the same speed and facing the same direction, just like the wheels of a car.
Yeah.
So that you don't have one person who is more faithful and respectful, but doesn't have intimacy and trust. You get the 4 wheels. There are people who would meet you today and they want to kiss you tomorrow. Which wheel is moving faster? The intimacy wheel.
Intimacy wheel. Yeah.
Do I really know you? Do I know the differences between me and you? So respect has been stagnated, but intimacy is now moving so fast. There are those who would promise you this and then they break those promises and move to another, promise you again and they break. They are moving on the 3 wheels, but there is a crucial wheel called respect that is not moving, a faithful that's not moving. I can't just promise that it's you and deliver you. I can't promise I'll bring you a gift and bring the gift. I keep on changing. Yeah. So the same wheel is not moving, but the other 3 are moving.
They're moving.
Okay? So for you to be in love, for you to understand the definition of love, you have to have all those 4 wheels moving at the same speed and in the same direction.
Right.
The 4 wheels.
All right.
Yes.
So it has been quite a long conversation, but again, we want to take a short break. As we take the break, remember the 4 wheels of love, that is respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy. So we are going for a short break. In case you have any questions, comment will get you answers. But meanwhile, your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy, and my guest,
Wabuti Elvis.
I know we'll host him again and again and again, but a short break first.
At no other time has our motto, invent your future, meant more than now. As the world adapts to the new normal, no other institution is more prepared, more in touch, and more in tune with the needs of its students. As we stayed home and kept safe, learning never stopped here at Zetech University. Online classes mean savings in time and money, discounted fees, free bundles, and timely graduation. Guided by passion, our aim is to deliver the highest quality of education. We admit both self and government-sponsored students for our degree, diploma, and certificate programs that are accredited by the Commission for University Education. Do not be left behind. For details on our online learning programs, log on to www.zetech.ac.ke and apply today for the September intake.
My name is Faruk Ali, an entrepreneur, a graphics designer, a systems engineer. I'm a founder of a technologies business by name Unity Break Technologies. Our successful projects, I would start with the corporate side. On the corporate side, we have done branding for a few security companies, Papaton Security, and this others. And also, we are the guys behind the big image of Wasili Cubs.
Coming soon.
Guy, umesikia Beki alinunuliwa gari?
Guy, yule Beki moja?
Beki moja tu.
Kuambia kitu ufanye. Kwanza hata nini umbeba hapa?
Mbona unashuka nikiangalia simu yako? Kwani kuna siri?
Unaenda wapi? Nimesema kuja kwani nijue
featuring
Na wewe mbona unapenda kukomelisha kila mtu juu ya hiki tumebeba? Mimi niko nao 6. Toa enda sasa kwako.
Don't miss the premium comedy experience.
All right. Thank you so much for continuing keeping it MKTV channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to all those who are sharing out this video as well. And if you haven't shared it to your friends and, the people your friends on Facebook, your friends on Instagram, Twitter, and all those social media pages, please click the share button and share out this video because everyone needs to know what we are talking about. And as I told you earlier, all the matters of your heart, we are here to get answers for you. And today we are here with my one and only guest,
Elvis.
Dr. Love, Dr. Love, Elvis,
Yes.
Okwako.
Yes.
And he's here also to answer all those questions for you. And earlier we had talked about the 4 wheels of love, and we had, gone deeper to explain to you what they mean and why you need them. And we are back again in this second session, and I'm sure we're going to answer some 2-3 questions. And as I told you, we're not hosting him once. He will be here frequently, and he will get all your questions answered, right?
Yes.
Welcome back.
They will have their questions answered.
Yeah, you will have your questions answered. They will have their questions answered. Anyway, we are in the midst of COVID-19
Yes.
Pandemic. Even though people are losing, trust in it, asking questions about it. But, eventually schools were closed and kids are home. And, we've had all this mess of teenage pregnancies. We've had all this mess of, adolescents, teenagers being caught in rooms, doing sex stepping and all that. Does it start from love? Uttering that I love you thing and the 3 words, or where does it start from and what is affecting our youth? And as you answer that, I want you to think about what is the perfect age of people start falling in love?
Well, as you rightfully put, love is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for everyone because the concept that we are sharing here today on MKTV is not a universal concept. There are people who like shortcuts. Yeah. There are people who want it easy. Mm-hmm. And some of them want it easy because they have never had an opportunity to think about it, to ask themselves difficult questions. Mm-hmm. Love brings forth very difficult questions. The question of trust, intimacy, respect, and faithfulness are not easy things that you can play around at a certain age. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, as we grow and we understand each other and we understand ourselves first and we understand each other, we have to have like a game plan. Mm-hmm. Children from the ages of 12, getting into 13, start their teenage life. Mm-hmm. From 13 up to 19. Mm-hmm. That is where the body is having a lot of changes for both the girl and the boy. So they really don't understand themselves. The girl doesn't understand why periodically after every month she has to attend her periods. Mm-hmm. It would be extremely difficult again for you to introduce another matrix that is more complex as faithfulness, respect, trust, and intimacy. Mm-hmm. Let them concentrate on understanding themselves first. Mm-hmm. Let them go out there and play football, discharge the energies from their bodies. Mm-hmm. Come up with things that can help society. In that home, they can clean up the compound. Mm-hmm. They can do, all those things are good because they build awareness, self-awareness and an awareness to their environment. Sure. A girl who is attending her periods may feel, first of all, shy. Yeah. But then she may be home alone with an elder brother. It is the duty of the elder brother to tuition her through if the auntie is not there or the mother is not there. That is the time when they realize that we are changing. Our bodies are changing. As a man, you start feeling certain feelings when you are in the midst of people who are of the opposite gender, the opposite sex, for example. So I would really concentrate on telling them to be self-aware and to be aware of their environment. That is what will give them an opportunity to play in the big league of love when the right time comes. For example,
what is the right time?
Before we go to the right time,
slightly
before we go to the right time, we have said that you are different from me. You are a woman, I am a man. Before we say love, I say I love you and you say I love you in return. You really have to understand who you are. Because if you don't understand who you are, and then you add on another dimension of understanding another person, you will get confused. You start falling prey to conflicting emotions. You don't know kama wewe ndio mkosaji ama wewe ni mkosewa. And in a relationship, I've met so many people saying, look here, I just don't know. I get angry when I look at him. Hata kama hajanikosea, it means this person does not understand himself or herself and goes ahead to try and understand another person. I feel that's the tragedy. So you want to believe that if I extend my hand, the other person has to put the hand there. What if it doesn't work? These are the things that infuriate people and it becomes a very violent relationship. However, the age of majority in Kenya is 18 years. 18 years is just 2 years before you finish your teenage age at 19. That's 18 and 19.
19 years.
In my view, at 18, though it is a legal age, people start getting deeper awareness of who they are after school, after Form 4. That's when you start realizing that as a lady, I've been attending my periods from when I was 13. Now I am 18. I think now I understand how my cycle works. As a man, you realize that if you sleep with a woman, there are consequences. And you ask yourself difficult questions. Am I able to take care of the consequences of my sleeping with another lady, for example? At 18, 19, they can grapple with those questions. At 20, they can start dating. This is not inscribed in stone. But in my view, I think at that age, they are through with school. They are not yet at the university. Some of them are just about to go into college. They can ask themselves those difficult questions. By the time they go to college, they are going to meet a lot of other people from other backgrounds. They're going to, if you are coming from a poor background, you're going to meet rich people. If your parents were so protective, you're going to meet people who come from backgrounds where their parents don't give they don't care. Okay? There are people who've been brought up with extreme freedom, and there are those who've grown up with very minimal, well-checked freedom. You're going to meet these people. Unless you understand your background and you understand your family, you'll not be able to admit another person. So in quick answer to your question, I am comfortable if my children at the age of 20 will start dating. At 18 and 19, they're still imagining what it could be if they start dating. Now, when they start dating again, there must be a transition. They should speak to people who've been there, trustworthy people, like youth pastors, people who have mentored and counseled people before marriage. If you go to Twitter, there are so many people who are encouraging on boy awareness or girl awareness, and they are feminists and they are male chauvinists. So you really have to ask yourself, which direction do I want to take at that point in time? You also said that now that these children are at home and they are engaging in unprotected sex and they are engaging in things that compromise their reproductive health, because I am sure when they get pregnant, issues of abortion come in. They want to either terminate these pregnancies or prevent them. Issues of family planning come in. I would like again to insist that this is the time where they go into programs that steal away their mind from emotions and issues like this. For example, participate in games. Play the Cleo Malala Super Cup, for example. Go for running, jogging in the mornings. Engage in activities that will drain your energy to the extent that by the time you are retiring to bed, the only thing there is bathe yourself, have supper, and go to sleep. Yeah. So I don't know if there is any other question that I have. I may not have.
So let me look at the comments. Okay. Thank you so much for all those who are watching. Stephen Gibb, I've seen your comments. Peter K. Okwako, thank you so much. He's recommending you. Papa Julius Namale, Dr. Love, thank you so much. Oscar Walcott, Malala, thank you so much. Now there is a question here.
Yes.
Prince Fanuel, nice to watch you. Thank you so much, Prince Fanuel. Oh my God, there's some comments I can't read.
You can't read, yes, we are.
Yeah, but you know, thank you so much, all those who are watching. DVJ Cobra, I've seen you on Nini. Brandy, also thank you so much. What makes someone quit a relationship with no reason? You just wake up and they are like, it's over.
Yeah, I started off by saying, if you're going to an unknown place, if you're going to a place where you don't know, you can never know if you have arrived.
Yeah.
I'll repeat. If you are going to a place that you don't know, you can never know if you have arrived. And I want to give a physical place. You are going to Nairobi and you don't know Nairobi. So you have a vague definition of Nairobi. Tall buildings, a lot of street lights, paved, pathways, flyovers. That is your definition of Nairobi, but you've never been there. Yeah. You may alight at Nakuru because it has tall buildings, it has paved ways, it has flyovers, it has street lights.
Yeah, you just made me start to remember the first day I was in Nairobi.
Yes. Or alternatively, your definition could be that Nairobi is a very far away place. So, unafika Nakuru, you still think, no, this is not far enough to be Nairobi. Yeah. Unafika Naivasha, you still think this is not far enough to be Nairobi. You reach Mtito Ande, you're still thinking it's not far enough to be Nairobi. You will end up in Mombasa. Because you didn't understand where you are going. So the people who abandoned these relationships had no idea what they were getting themselves into. Either they were attracted by one or two or three of the pillars that we have discussed. Mtu aliona tu dem ni msupu, hata hakujali kumuuliza jina yake ni nani, has never delved into the things that separate them or divide them, has never taken a journey within. Ajiulize, is this the person I want to stay with for the rest of my life? Is faithfulness going to go in? Am I willing to be trustworthy so that hata nikikuwa away from this person, I will still take the vows seriously? And that alone can make somebody wake up and say, this is not what I signed in for. After all, mtu atakuna kitu yenye amenifanyia. Hakuna penye tunaenda na huyo mtu. You've heard people saying.
I've heard people say, and especially in campus relationships, let me talk about that because I've been there. You know, it reaches a point where, people have been dating since first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So when they reach fourth year, you'll hear a girl saying that people
yes.
I can't see our future.
Unaona tunapelekana na huyu wapi.
Yes,
So basically it's because they didn't spend more time at the introductory stage of their relationship. I have had even an argument with you telling you that you need to spend more time with respect. Know what makes you different from this person. Ask yourself the melting and boiling points of the other person. You've met in campus. This guy is an Asian. Or this lady is Arabic. She's an Arab. She's a Muslim. You are Christian, but because she's beautiful, you are in it. But now she's saying, look, for us, I can't leave home unless we do, it's called nikah or something. I will have to notify my parents. There is a ceremony. You have to pay dowry.
Yeah.
So somebody realizes, this is not what I signed it for.
Yeah.
Then he decides. Anaamka tu asubuhi anakwambia, you know what? I wish you well in your life. We are on our own. Everybody to himself, God for us all. So basically, that is one of the reasons why people just decide to desert. There are other various reasons.
Yeah.
For example, you can even also get external factors. As you grow, you realize the paradigm of love is bigger and the scope is also bigger than you thought when you were in first year, for example. So you realize that, look, I just didn't want just a guy who I can pass time with. I wanted somebody who can be responsible to his family, who can sire children and be responsible to those children, who values the values of the pillars of a family, who can also stand with me and for me. And this guy out of the 4 probably is only one. He's just handsome. That's all. Or she's just beautiful.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ako na sura, ako na nania wine glass. You get? So at the end of the day, a sage once said that you'd rather take 8 hours to sharpen an axe and 2 to cut a tree, rather than the other way around. So that you are taking 2 hours to sharpen an axe and take 8 hours to cut a tree. Spend more time with this person. Dating is supposed to give you an impression of how you will be when you are in the real relationship. If it's a marriage relationship, or if it is a family outside marriage, spend more time with this person so that you get to know when they are crying, when they are happy, how they behave when they are drunk, when they are on top of the mountain, when they are rich, when they are poor. Yeah. So if you spend more time, for example, during the introductory stages, to have a feel of what it would be, I can assure you, not so many people will have problems living with their spouses. But if you want to jump in, you just think, I think he's the guy. I think he's the right one. I think he's the Mr. Right because he's tall.
I think I've waited for long.
I think I have it's called baby rush or baby what. I want a baby. So you think, okay, you summarize all the principles of a man into, does he like me? If he likes me, he has all the qualities I need in a man. So you want to develop all the other qualities while you are in the relationship.
Yeah, and there's this notion of, he will change when we are together. Or if there's something I don't like about you, I will deal with it. Yeah, I'll deal with it, or I'll change you in the process. Does that really work?
We started off by saying that we are different.
Indeed.
Changing this person, you must ask yourself, from what to what? If this guy is a bad guy, and I want to use me and you as an example. Yes. You are Ivy. I want to give you 5 I's. I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. I'm Elvis. Let me give E 5 times. E, 5 of them. A perfect relationship would be where I is matching E.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The 5 I's are matching 5 E's. But here is a situation. We like compromising. Ivy will supply me with 5 I's, but I fall short of the E's. I give her only 3. I am handsome, I'm hardworking, intelligent. That's as far as I go. I'm irresponsible, I'm temperamental, I'm all the other things that Ivy doesn't want. Yeah. So the shorter the similarities on this line, the worse it will be for you. If you find that I is 5 of them and is gotten Elvis who is also 5, that's a perfect relationship. They will blend, they will be good. However, if it is I and there are 5 I's and there is only 1 E, the guy is handsome. That's when you wake up one day and just say it's quits, and that's it. And you know that quits comes with it the realization that I have wasted my time. Some of them have invested resources. Some of them have invested time in that relationship. It can easily end up being very traumatizing and also very violent. Find somebody carrying an axe to go and dismember a spouse, a partner, just because anasema, mimi nimeuza battery za gari kulipia huyo msichana school fees. And then all of a sudden she wakes up, she's not picking my calls, Yeah. But in the first place, ali analyze hizo aya akapata ziko 5 na yeye anaweza supply 5 E's. If you ask them, they won't give you an answer. If the person has 4 E's instead of 5, anaweza kuwa akona all the other good qualities, but is drunk. He's a drunkard. Anaweza sema, we will pray over it. It is only 1. But there are people who are working with 4 deficiencies out of 5. Mtu ana lack vitu 4 out of 5, but unamtolerate, tunasema ni wangu. When everybody tells you, this guy is taking advantage of you, or this lady is just using you, you say, no, but she's beautiful, or she's good in bed. That is the only thing you know about this guy that glues you to him.
Okay. So there's another question here. Haj Abdullah is asking, what if one breaks accidentally the 4 wheels of love, but then the partner keeps on reminding them again and again of what had happened?
Once the person breaks the 4 wheels of love, there is no relationship there. The 4 wheels of love include...
But people do make mistakes.
Yes, I will tell you. He has been categorical. He has said the 4 wheels of love.
Yes.
That involves respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy. Let's start with the trust. We said trust is like virginity. You lose it only once. The only thing that can happen here is that he can regain faithfulness, respect, and intimacy. But trust will never come back. So he will never have 4. He will have 3 wheels. Okay?
So
I can apologize and say, look here. I think I have been treating you wrongly. I've not been taking you out on Valentine. I've not been taking you seriously as a man should. It will start bringing in the emotions. It will make you feel good. I'll work on your intimacy. We will hold hands even in public. We will kiss adequately and make love adequately. But that is as far as it goes. What can you do to regain trust? Trust is doubt to the partner. And sometimes it comes with some evidence. Here is a situation where your spouse has hidden information from you that she has a kid in that family who is not yours. Okay, so you go and find through DNA that kid is not yours. You will stay with that family. As a man, for example, you will say, this is my family, I'll protect it, but you will never think about her the same way again. You get the point? So yes, you can work it out, and you can bring it to a level that it can sustain pressures of life, but you'll never get it completely the way it was or should be. He has asked an element of another partner keeps on reminding you that we were this and we were that.
You broke my trust. I want
to answer him in this way. It's only love if Ivy and Elvis are reading from the same book, the same chapter, and in fact the same line. It is only love if you're on the same page. But what if Ivy is only interested in Elvis so that Elvis takes her through college? What if Elvis is interested in Ivy only to give him a child? Labda amejaribu uko nje na watoto hawakuji. So there is only one thing that is driving this man towards you, and it's maybe just getting a kid with you. So you are not on the same page. Where in your imagination as Ivy, you're thinking this man wants to settle down with me, have a good family, raise a good, responsible family. And him, he just wants a kid. Or I think I am putting in enough or a lot of resources to take Ivy through college. And that is as far as it goes. After college, anakuambia, by the way, I've just come to realize you and me are not compatible. So we atuendi popote. You get? So one partner cannot decide for the other. It is only love if you're reading from the same page at the same time, if possible, the same line. If you say, I love you, the other person has to say, I love you too. But what is this love that you are promising each other? She has to know, or he has to know, if it is my circumstance, that we are talking about respect, faithfulness, trust, and intimacy. So when I say, I love you, and you say, I love you back, we know what we are talking about. But if we don't know, you could be saying, I love you of emotion, and I have so much expectation from you that this girl is going to bring respect, trust, faithfulness, and intimacy. And yet she's just in for emotions.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Love. I think it has been a very long and fruitful discussion. And I'm hoping you won't go and potelea. You'll come back again.
If I'm invited, I'll be...
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Invitation automatically accepted. Thank you so much, viewers, for viewing this or watching this program. We are so much humbled. Thank you for all those who've sent their feedback, those who are asking questions, and those who are watching. We really appreciate you. If you haven't shared this video, kindly share it out to people and make sure that our kids, our parents, our brothers, our sisters get to hear this message. I've been your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy. Till next Monday. Have a good day. Remember to like our Facebook page, MKTV channel. Follow us on Twitter at MKTV254. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, MKTV channel. And follow us on Instagram at MKTV_channel254. Until next Monday, have a good day.
Coming soon.
Guy, umesikia Beki alinunuliwa gari?
Yule beki moja.
Beki moja tu.
Kuambia kitu ufanye. Kwanza hata nini umbeba hapa? Nini umbeba hapa?
Mbona unashuka nikiangalia simu yako? Kwani kuna siri?
Nimesema kuja ngoni nitie majirani. Nimesema kwanza usisahau kundimia bundles. Akitafadhali usinijaribu. Umenisikia?
Wewe unaangalia hata yangu. Nimewahi complain. Mbona yako nikishika iko na my issues?
Featuring.
Na wewe mbona unapenda kukombelisha kila mtu juu ya hiki tumebeba? Mimi niko nao 6. Toa enda sasa kwako.
Don't miss the premium comedy experience.
Raising awareness about your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy.
Welcome to Camo Fashion House, where only the best get dressed. Offering a great collection of both office and casual wear, we are determined to give you the most outstanding look. We are located in Kakamega town along Biashara Street. For orders and detail on reaching us, contact us on 07163066048.